Welcome to Grandshelt Nights. This is podcast number 19. We're going to be talking about Cid and his new banner. With me is Kuja, since both Zero and Panda could not make it this time.
Yep.
So, this is a this is a fairly short week. It's a story mission, so we'll get started with the characters then. Starting with
Velma.
Falma. Um, she's 3 star.
It's a three-star. Yeah, three-star unit that is not good.
Well, her TMR is not bad actually.
Well, yeah, her TMR is good. Her TMR is good for Dragoons, and Dragoons actually get good this week, so it's a pretty decent TM.
Well, Roberta and the other ones aren't bad. They just aren't like they don't stand out from the other ones.
Right.
But Sid definitely stands out as a Dragoon finisher. But yeah,
Yep.
her TMR is called Flapping Wings. It has attack of 30, flat attack, and it comes with Dreams of Flight, which is 50% jump damage, which you can get up to 300%, right?
800%.
800% jump damage.
Yep.
How would you do that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can get that high, but that's the cap.
That's the cap. Um,
Yeah.
So with this unit, is there anything that stands out, do you think, about her?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing. No. I mean, even her wind and light resistance is just bad. It's 30%, so there's no reason you're gonna use her.
yeah, I wondered. 'Cause she does have LB fill rate,
Yeah, it's just not.
and
She's not. There's no reason.
yeah, I wasn't sure if she could chain with someone as a backup if you aren't really set currently. But even as a new user, she's not really gonna help a whole lot.
No.
Her buffs aren't that great. Her damage is very mediocre. She's
Yeah.
just got nothing special
I
about her.
mean, even if you pulled on this banner and this was your first banner, you're probably gonna pull better units than her anyway. So.
True. But yes, team are very good. Our second unit of the day is a 4 star to 6 star. Nagflare. Or Nagflar.
Nightflower. Nightflower.
Nagflar. Gotta love that name. Actually, his sprite's really
Yeah.
cool. Check out that huge ass wrench. Makes me think of the original Cid that I remember, anyways, in Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah.
Except his beard's not red. His beard should be red. Anyways, he is, well, of course, a 4 star, and he's got a very good helmet.
Yep.
One of the few top highest damage helmets. Um,
Yeah. It's really good for a 4-star TM. It's
it's the highest non 5 star helmet TMR, right?
yeah. It's pretty good in the fact that it can. It's good in the fact that it gives you confuse resistance as well. Is it better than some of the 5-star hats we have? No.
No, but if you have a unit
It's
that can only wear
also
helmets, that's the
yeah.
issue.
It's also a helm, and it's less likely your unit can use it because most units use hats, and there aren't as many that can use helms. So
I have quite a few that are helm only. But
hmm
yeah, it's
they're out there. It's just again that it's more likely that they're not able to use a helm than they are, if that makes sense.
well. Anyways, as a unit, he's very meh.
Meh.
Um,
He, he's
he
he's a pile driver chainer, and that's kind of it.
and yeah, the biggest problem with pile driver chainers is the fact that the only good pile driver chainer is Eileen, and she did not
Is
get.
is not good.
Yeah, they didn't give her any love. They should
I
have, but they
mean,
didn't.
she does have Evo gauge fill, which is kind of cool, but
Yeah. Other than that, pretty mediocre damage. So if you get him, his TMR is good if you need a helmet user, or if you have a user that needs an attack helmet. But other than that, he's really not worth doing anything with.
yeah,
On to the other 4 star unit of the banner, Melt or
Millet,
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 Millet, Millet. Looks
or
like
as everybody else is calling her, Bob Ross.
female Bob Ross,
Yeah,
because it is a female. Bob Ross is totally a dude. But yeah, I could see why they call her Bob Ross. Um, her TMR is decent.
Yeah, it's decent, not great. It's 30% magic with decreased MP use by 10%. The only time I really see you wanting to use this is if you have a mage that's already at the cap and like a 40 or 50% materia is going to put you over the cap. This is something that can get you to the cap and also give you a pretty solid bonus.
Or if you just
And
you don't have anything higher than 30% magic, because it's
sure,
30% magic, which is the second highest on right now. I don't think we get 50% magic very often, other than Rod Mastery and Dark
Dark
Bond.
Bond, and then there's ST Myers that are more than
Well,
that. But yeah, I mean, it's really competing with a 40%. But again, the way I look at it, I would rather if I'm not at the cap, I'd rather have the 10% extra damage than the MP reduction because a lot of the time MP is not a problem even with units quad cast. So
maybe if you have a team that you can't fit a MP regener on it, it might be
yeah,
useful, but it's usually just better to have an MP regener in general than trying to reduce the amount of MP you
yeah,
use. As a unit, she's probably the best of the three.
yeah, and she's a decent green mage.
Yeah, she's a fair green mage. She does two elements at a time with 60%, which
It's
is
pretty good.
pretty good. If you don't have a straight green mage, there's a couple instances where she's not better than a 3-star, and that is
Oh,
oh
serious.
Sirius, yes. Sirius is a ridiculous mage who gets the three main elements 100% resistance, and she can
Yeah.
dual cast it. So if you're only worrying about those three, then Sirius is definitely the better option. But this character covers a lot more. But
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't get dual cast of it, which makes it a little bit more difficult to be like, she's pretty decent, but 60% is pretty high considering most are 50 and 70 is usually the highest you get usually.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I mean she has break resistance. That's not bad to have. Oh,
No.
and she can get a 70% buff to all elements, but that is activated by He Who Soars Heavens.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's one of those random abilities.
I hate those random abilities. I never use them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not consistent
Yep.
enough for me to be useful. The LB is actually it's not bad.
It's not good.
It's a
Well,
defense and
no,
spirit break by
yeah, no, it's okay.
74%,
Yeah,
and
it's all right.
I mean the buff's not that great. It's mediocre at 104% if you max it out, but defense and
I guess that
spirit break
break's
is
okay.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's all
It
right.
it
I mean, honestly, if it's two stats, I'd rather it be attack and magic.
Yeah, usually because it makes you more survivable rather than make it easier to kill a unit, but still that 74% is actually fairly high. That's in some of the top tier breaker
Yeah.
area. So that's a pretty good break. I won't say that's a bad one, but LBs are expensive to update, and before it's max, it's really pitiful. 50%, 80%, eh.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess we should move on to the character that everybody's hoping for, Cid.
CG Sid. He's very good.
Yeah, uh, almost some people considered him broken for a while, in JP at least. I never went for him in
Wait,
JP though.
I wouldn't say he's broken, but he is very good, and he's going to be viable for a very long time as a finisher. Um,
Yeah, the
I guess
only
his
problem is that he's a finisher.
yeah, but again, he does so much damage. You could get away with kind of bringing units that have like pod and
Well,
have him cap a pod chain.
yeah, no, I understand that, but again, when it comes to building a team, a finisher and a buffer are probably the last two you're going to be focusing on. And
Yeah.
yes, we've got more units that can do more than just one thing. Like we have
Mm-hmm.
tanks that can chain now. We have supports that can chain now. Some supports, what
Right.
like lid and all those ones. I mean, AR
Yeah.
chaining is very popular right now, and so's Octaslash and Kingsglaive. I mean, we've gotten a bunch of lucky units in global,
Hmm.
so it makes it much easier to fit in a finisher. So,
Yep.
especially since his is one of those type where you get up in the air and you don't have to worry about him surviving as much.
Right.
Anyways,
So
his
his TMR
his hero's
is
vow.
Hero's Vow Wind. It gives you 50% true double hand, gives you 75% jump damage, and it increases his LB fill rate by 50%. So this is a pretty solid TM, especially for a Dragoon. Um,
It's probably not stackable.
oh, it's definitely not. It's not stackable.
Well, I don't.
Never.
It doesn't say it, so I can't verify it.
Yeah, no. It in the I know in game it does say that it's unstackable though. It's not
Okay.
stackable.
Um, yeah, it's a extremely solid TMR, and his STMR is actually very solid as well. It's a 175 attack spear with wind damage on it. So the only thing that might suck about the spear is the fact that wind is not as common, and, except
Right.
for tornado chaining, which hell yeah for tornado chainers.
Hmm. It's good, but again, there's what you're almost gonna want to be using on him is Arnea's Star Spear because it gives you that 100% extra jump damage too,
Yeah, that that
while
that,
also having
that does help.
140 attack. I mean, it's not much worse.
Not much at all, but still, it's a extremely good two-handed spear, and
Hmm.
I mean,
Two-handed elemental weapons are good.
yep, especially if you need to find but you can put them on other characters too,
Hmm.
as long as they have a chaining ability. Anyways, he can equip daggers, swords, and spears, so he's very limited on his weapon selection, but you're pretty much gonna
You're
stick
gonna
with
want to.
spears.
Yeah, because I mean, again, even if you're not using, like I said, Arnea's TMR or his STMR, I mean, you can get Dragon Whisker, which is 138 attack. So,
And there's also Duke's at TM STMR. Oh, there's a lot of spears out that are useful. So,
but I'm just saying, like, there's a free one that's almost got 140 attack on it.
oh
So,
yeah, that's true. Um, His armor selection is extremely good. I don't know why there's a shield on there, but it is. He can
you
basically
never know. You
equip
might need
every
that shield.
armor type. Yeah, true. I think I'd pretty much stick with true double hand or double
You're
hand.
not. You're not going to need a shield for him, but it's there if you want.
Yeah, I guess.
Now, his kit is a little convoluted in a way
It's
because you have,
cumbersome. It's got lots of
yeah.
options.
Hmm.
But
And the thing
man,
is, you really need to do his cooldown ability because that unlocks the second tier of all his abilities.
yeah, I mean, like, look at this one right here. This is probably one of the strongest jumps I've seen. But my God, that time you're stuck in the air. So you have to use Sky Dragon Squall first, which is probably the cooldown. Um,
Right, because if you don't, I mean, what it does is it takes away the cooldown, so it's only one turn.
yeah, but the problem is you're probably also going to want because he does have. Um, I think he can imbue himself with wind.
No, I don't think he can. He can decrease wind
I know you can
damage.
decrease it. I thought he could also imbue it. Huh?
No,
Guess not. Okay.
but
Uh,
he does a lot of stuff. Like I mean, if again, the only thing is it's every 2 turns because well, technically it's every three because when you jump, that takes a turn up too. So, but he can do 74% attack and defense break, spirit and magic break. He can do a lot of stuff for your team.
yep. Too bad it wasn't attack and magic and defense and spirit. That would be really
Right.
useful. But
Hmm.
still, his modifiers are extremely high, especially spine shatter.
Yeah.
God, that's such a good one. His brakes are very strong too. They're 74%. Again, though, his biggest problem is you have to use Sky Dragon Squall first to get the one turn delay,
Then do the
and
jump.
then do the jump, and it's only available for 2 or 3 turns, so he's never going to be able to take advantage of it.
Take a what is imperil?
Or his debuffs
Mm.
anything. Because if you use Sky Dragon Squall, it's a 3-turn debuff to all enemies, but 3 turns. That means you have to use a jump, which is usually 2 turns. So when you go up is when it does the debuff, and when you come down, I guess it does take advantage of the debuff when you come down
Yeah,
the first
it
time.
would. It would the first time,
But other than that, it's
but you basically what we're saying is you can't do a debuff, then come back, charge, go back up and hit with Spine Shatter because of the debuff will be gone. So.
yep. And the other problem with that is you're also going if you're using him as a breaker, every turn you're going to have to use the same break
Mm-hmm.
because it'll be down by the time he goes back up in the air again.
Right, and it makes it less desirable since it's not attack and magic and spirit and defense. It's the
It's
opposite.
it still has a
It's
nice attack modifier because 10 times is still not bad, but then again, that's with using a Sky Dragon Skull, which is a 1 turn availability. So you can only do this once, and then you have to wait 5 turns to do it again. So his jumps are going to take a while after the first jump, or after you use this, it'll be a quick one, and then the next one will be slow.
right.
He does have a crap ton of Beast Killer though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he's gonna with his TMR too. He's gonna have 200% true double hand. So it's not. It doesn't take much to get him to 300%.
Was that 200% including his TMR, or that
Right.
200% without his
Yeah.
TMR?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's including his TMR because you need.
Well, I wasn't sure because sometimes I've heard people say like he gets 200% with his TMR equipped, but not counting not counting the actual TMRs.
Yeah, I mean it counts the TMR
Yeah.
because yeah.
So it's 150% not counting the TMR, but
Yeah.
it's
And then,
actually the TMR is equipped. He's
yep.
got quite a bit of jump damage from the start. 150% just base and kit, and
Yeah.
his
So that 18 times modifier is even higher.
oh, that's what the wind break is for. That's why I thought he imperiled. No, his LB is a wind physical damage skill. That's why I thought he
Mm-hmm.
had wind damage.
Yeah.
It's a
That he
28
does
times
technically,
modifier.
but you're not gonna. It doesn't. I don't think that gets affected by jump
Jump
damage.
damage, I don't believe so either because it doesn't say that he jumps.
Right.
So, jump damage will not affect the LB, but the LB is probably strong enough to withstand not getting that jump damage.
Yeah, but the jump damage is gonna. It's easy to stack, easy enough to stack where his spine shatter jump is just so much better than his LB.
Especially the jump damage. It's such a good skill. Um, yeah, not a whole lot more to say about him. He's just a really good finisher. His
Mm-hmm.
biggest downfall is the fact that his debuffs are to the span of his jump, so you can't mix his debuffs with other jumps,
Right.
and you can't mix his buff with jumps either because the physical
Yeah.
damage, damage or beast killer one
So
does
he's
not
he's
match.
not a he's not a good breaker really. I mean, because you can't even do 74%. You can't keep 74% breaks up indefinitely on his own. You can only keep one.
Well, you can't even keep him up other than those 3 turns because the next time you do it, it'll be 60% because you won't have Sky Dragon Squall up fast enough.
Yeah, that's true. So.
So I would avoid him as a breaker, but
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I mean, if you absolutely need to break and your breaker's down or something like that, it's nice to have as a backup. Very nice to have.
Right. Right. But I mean, again, he's just straight damage,
Yep, straight damage.
straight high burst. It's not really that sustained, but it's pretty good.
Well, he can sustain himself fairly well. He does have something similar to what Noctis has, where he gives
Yeah.
himself a crap ton of MP and HP back and jumps.
No, but I'm saying like sustained damage. Like it's all burst. It's like he's doing it like turn 3, and then again on turn like 6 is when or 6 or 7 is when he's doing damage again. Other than that, he's not doing much in the way of damage.
Yep, no, he's not. But like,
Yeah, it's future proof damage. It's definitely future proof damage. It's just, you know,
you have to
where
survive.
a unit like, say, Ong, for example, if you can fill his LB, he can do high burst every turn. And even if he's not doing his LB, he still has other damaging moves that do high damage. So, like, Ong doesn't have to take a turn off to do damage.
He can.
Whereas, oh, he can, but, like, Cid has to take 2 turns off before he can do any damage.
Yeah, because he just doesn't.
Minimum.
He doesn't have any real other than his LB. His skills are not that great for
Well, he doesn't. He literally,
other
like,
than his
has
jumps.
nothing. Yeah, he has nothing that's gonna. I mean, bare minimum, his moves are 2 turns.
Well, he has 3 skills that are not jump
Yeah,
skills.
but they're not good.
Oh, not saying they're not, but he does have the ability to drain HP and MP. He has the ability to remove status effects, so he can dispel. So, I mean, can't say they're terrible, but they're definitely not good.
They're not good. They're moves that you would not use ever. The
Well,
rest of his
this
jumps have a use.
his
All of
dispel
them
has a
do.
use. His dispel has a use, and his sky charge is not bad if you need to regen HP and MP because he does use a lot of MP. So it's not terrible. The biggest reason why I say that with the Dragoon is because if you have your unit giving MP back, does it when your Dragoon's in the air? Because I did that a lot when I used Dragoons. He doesn't get HP or MP back, so the fact that he can give it back to himself a little bit, it's very useful. It's a backup. Blade
Yeah.
Dance is terrible though. Don't ever use Blade Dance. Dispel Lance is useful because having an extra Dispeller just in case, who can
yeah,
complain?
no, that's. I mean, and again, he's gonna have after the first Spine Shatter, he's gonna have a turn where he isn't doing anything,
Yep.
so he can either Sky Charge or do the other move. He's got the Dispel.
So now let's move on to the actual story event that is Cid's taking to the skies. I don't remember this at all in JP, so
Yeah, I mean, it's a story event.
yeah, no, I
The
understand.
2 items are meh, in my opinion.
Metal Greaves is not bad though. It's 10% HP and 50% jump damage. 50% jump damage for Dragoons is very nice because you have to think of it as like it's basically a killer without having any
Yeah,
restrictions.
yeah, I know. You can get the Dragoon gauntlets. They're better in my opinion.
What do the Dragon Gauntlets have? I thought they were worse.
I think it's 100%. That's at
I
least what
thought
someone was saying.
I
It's
thought I
100%
thought the
damage.
Dragon Gauntlets 50%. I can look that up in a little bit. But anyways, similar to how it was before, there's you just go through the stages, taking to the skies.
I don't think it's broken. That's a good thing.
Oh God, thank you. Oh jeez, that was atrocious last time. I had such bad
hmm
luck. Yes, you're right. Dragoon Scotland does have 100%, and that one is available at just in a random exploration, so you don't have to actually farm it up. But
Wait, it
farming,
is? I thought it was like a
it's for an
Star
Aurora,
Quartz
it's
thing.
it's an Aurora Key exploration.
Oh,
So
I
it's
probably sold it.
pretty way back then.
He's like, I probably sold it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
it's Dragon Gauntlet's pretty damn good for 100%. Anyways,
hmm
just this typical story. You go through them, go through the missions. They expand. You have to do certain missions for
Yeah.
every
The only
node.
difference is the boots. You have to actually craft those. It's not a item that's just given to you.
Yeah, and that goes by just doing. I think it was the last 3 missions a couple
Yeah.
times. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not a whole
Yeah.
lot of farming. It's not like going to like a wave mission where you had to farm like ridiculous amounts of stuff for it. I think it was just a few. You just need an extra couple things.
Mm-hmm.
The bonus stage,
It's easy.
it looks extremely easy. I have not done it yet, so I mean, Dragon
I haven't
Reaper.
done it yet either, but everything's weak to fire. Um, all
Uh,
can be broken. It's stupid. It's stupid easy.
a Tith. I don't remember 10 being any difficult at all. Because it's all physical, so it can be just AoE evaded if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the damage for the Dragon Reaper's pitiful, but you need enough damage to get through a self repair. I think that's the most difficult thing about him. Because look at his self repairs. 4 million, 13 million. So
Yeah.
you have to weaken his healing using fire, so just make sure you got some fire on your team. Gigarat, I I hate Gigarat.
Easy.
I know, but
Easy. Just make sure you kill Giga Rat before you kill
his little
the
minions.
the yeah, because he'll shit on you if you don't do that.
Hey, if you get a Cid, just get a fire spear on him, and he'll just murder everything.
True.
Um, there's not really much to these bosses just because of the fact that they're all based. Gigarat's physical too, isn't it? So you can just evade it.
Yeah, I mean they make this one's really easy because they're all weak to fire, so you just bring fire weapons, and they're all physical damage.
And well,
So
the first one got some magic damage, but it's not very much. It's mainly
right, and that
physical.
hmm you can basically just bring a physical tank, physical AOE tank,
And they
and
just yeah,
a fire damage DD, and you're fine.
we have so many good ones now, especially with Sophie and
And the fact that you can just put any kind of fire weapon on anybody and they're a fire damage dealer. So
yep. So yeah, the bonus stage looks fairly easy. Hopefully it will be. I'll have to try it. I'll hopefully get it earlier than last time because I put it off for so long because that event was bugged to hell.
hmm.
Well, anyways, there's also the new section for the Final Fantasy 3 event, which is Doga's Grotto.
Yeah, but this is stupid easy. Also,
Um, best
you could
suggestion
sneeze on these guys and they'll die.
best suggestion for doing this is just build your LVs up and go
Yep.
in. Um, they're two separate battles. They are not together.
Right.
So I mean, but they're like 3 million HP. So if you have any chaining whatsoever or anything like that, they really should have
You
gotten
don't
that
even
buff.
need chaining. Like when I did it this morning, Lauren's LB killed Uni in one with just the LB, and it's so dumb how
Uh,
easy it was.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that if because some people don't have your your units, even six
Yeah, but
stars or 5 stars could probably. I
but
mean,
but
just
what I'm
beat these
saying is
enemies.
just Lauren with her LB killed it from 100% HP to zero.
Yeah, but your Lawrence
Which
probably got
means,
like 2k attack almost.
so what? If you're bringing a team, that your any team's probably going to be able to do out damage one unit on their own.
True. Lauren LB breaks.
Yeah,
Wailed.
it does.
Yeah, the problem with the Ignacio imbue is the fact that, well,
It's 50%
it's
chance
50%
to work.
chance.
I mean, this
The problem with
Final Fantasy 3 thing is just stupidly easy. Anybody can beat it.
so also with the small rats on the thing, if I remember correctly, you cannot um AoE tank it. I don't remember you
No,
being
I
able to do
don't
that at
think you
all.
can. I don't think you can, but
I
they will
I,
hit
I
your.
think you have to just take the damage and build enough
hmm
up to it because it's not elemental if I remember correctly as well. But yeah,
But anyway,
the,
that's
these
pretty
these
much it for
these
this
units are
week.
extremely strong. You should do it because the mission or not the mission the item you get from the mission Eureka Key is extremely useful.
hmm
Eureka Key gives a bunch of resistances. You should not pass this up.
Yep. resistance gear is your friend. Anytime there's any sort of resistance gear, you should always get it. Even if it's not always going to be helpful. There are fights where it's crucial to have. So
Oh, you can tank the AoE tank the little. Okay, maybe that's what I was remembering. It's been a while since I've done Gigarat. I hate Gigarat, and it's not because he's hard. It's just because he's boring. He just looks like Intanger.
it is in Tanger basically.
It's his image with stupid little rats with him, and that's it. Eh,
Hmm.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
So that's pretty much it for this week. There's not much else.
Yep. Um,
So I guess we'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll do.
yeah, we're gonna be doing a pole
Douglas.
battle, so we're
If
gonna.
you want to stick around,
If you want to stick around, we'll be back in probably like 10 or 15 minutes.
5 minutes maybe.
Yeah, we'll see how long it takes me to get set up because I'm slow at this. All right, we'll be back in a little bit then.